Good morning, fourth grade. Hope you're having a super duper morning. Well, guess what? Today we are going to do more estimating. We're going to estimate products today. And do you remember whenever we estimate, what number is the number that tells us that we need to round up? If you said 5, you are correct. So basically, the number next to it tells us whether it's going to round up or stay the same, or round down, depending on what we're trying to do. All right, so if the number beside it is a 5 or higher, it's going to round up to the next number. So let's take a look at our page. Make sure that you have page 149 in front of you. It should look like this one. And let's take a look at the example at the top. All right. So we're going to do two things today. We're either going to round to the nearest 10 or we're going to round to the nearest 100. Okay, remember your place values. All right, so this is the original problem, and this is the estimating. Okay, so remember I always use the example, if mom and dad are in the car, you're driving somewhere, and your dad says, for example, what's 63 times 3? You can estimate, and you can say, 63 rounds to 60, so 60 times 3 times 6 is 18, and then add the 0 to that, it's 180. Well, if you look here, that's close. Okay? Then if you did it the actual way, it would come up to 189, which is pretty close. All right, so let's take a look at this. Let me just take these off, and we're going to take a look at this a little bit closer. All right, so we want to round to the greatest value because we want to have zeros. We want to have one digit and the rest zeros because that makes it easier when we want to multiply. So 63, we want to round to this value, which is the tens place. So basically it's going to be 60, or we're going to round it up to 70. So in order to do that, we need to look at this number right here. It's a 3. So what do you think? Is it going to be 60, or is it going to round up to 70? If you said 60, you're right, because 1, it's right there in front of you and you can see it. And then 2, if you figured it out yourself, that's really great. All right, so that would be 60. Now, when you're looking over here, it's really easy. So 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 6 is 18. And there you go. You have your answer for that. But now you need to do the real problem over here as well. In this case, it would be 3 times 3 is 9. And then 3 times 6 is 18. All right, and then you're also going to do it to the nearest hundreds place. That's the greatest value for this one. All right. All right, so would 186 round to 100, or would it round up to 200? What do you think? Well, this 8 here tells us that this 1 is going to turn into a 2. So it would round to 200, which is what they did right there for us. Okay? All right. So we have the 200 times 3. So remember what I told you before? Anytime you have all these zeros, you can ignore those, and you can just say 3 times 2 is 6. But then you have to add back those 2 zeros. So then now it's 600. So let's take a look at the real problem right here. 3 times 6 is 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 8 is 24. Plus the 1, which is 25. Carry the 2. 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 2 is 5. All right. Very good. All right, so that's what you're doing today. So I'm going to do numbers 1 and 2 with you, and then we'll see what happens. All right, so let's do the estimating first. Pretend they didn't have the answers there in the first block. Let's take a look at 34. Is it going to be 30 or is it going to round up to 40? So take a look at that 4. What does that 4 tell us? What is it going to do? You're right. It's going to stay 30. So then we just move the times 2 over. So now we have 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 3 is 6. Done. Boom. See how that goes? All right, so take a look at the real problem right here. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. Was it close? Yes, it was. Okay, now let's do number 2. We have 83. Well, does 83 round to 80 or 90? You're right, 80. So let's put 80 over here. And then we're going to say times 3. Now we can work it out. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 8 is 24. All right, let's see how this goes. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 8 is 24. Okay, so you're going to do the same estimating and doing the actual problem for numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then 7 through 12, you do not need to do any estimating. So go ahead and do that. Stop at 12, pause the video and do them. And then whenever you're finished, unpause and check your answers. All right, go ahead and check your answers. See how you did. Don't forget, if you need help, don't forget to email me at any time, and then I'll get back to you. We can either do a Google Meet or something so that I can work with you and help you out. But you have to let me know. You have to reach out to me, or I'm not going to know. I'm going to think everything is fine. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at number 13. We're going to write the estimate for each problem, circle the problem that has a product that is nearer the estimate, explain your answer. So how many things are we doing? 3 things, right? First thing we're going to do is write the estimate for each problem. All right, let's do that. All right, so 197, what would that round to? Yes, 200 times 4. What's 2 times 4? You're right. It's 8, and then add the zeros, 800. All right, very good. Now we need to do the other one. 117. Would it round to 100 or 200? Very good. 100 times 4. 100 times 4, folks, is 400. Very good. Now, the second part says, circle the problem that has a product, that's the answer, that is nearer the estimate. So which one's product or the answer is nearer to the estimate's product? Well, let's see. We have 800, 788. Well, that's pretty close. That's like 12 different, okay, from each other. Then we have 400 and 468. How many different is that from each other? 68. So which one is nearer to being the same answer? Like, which one has the closest answers? You're right. It would be the first group. So go ahead and circle that. You could either circle both, or you could circle the problem that has the closest estimate. All right. And then we can explain the answer. The answer basically is that 788 is, I don't know what I was doing there, is only 12 less than the estimate $468 is 68 more than its estimate. All right, great. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the back. This is the part that you do yourself. Please listen to all of the instructions before you do it on your own. Listen the whole way through because I have important instructions at the end. Okay, so basically numbers 1 through 3, I do expect to see estimation going on here in these boxes. Okay, and then you also have to do the actual problem. You have to figure that out. 4 through 9, you know what to do there. You're just going to figure out the products. For 10, 11, and 12, this is a review of, I want to say yesterday's lesson, but it isn't. It was last Friday's lesson, and it's the lesson prior to this one. And basically, you're just going to figure out the missing numbers. And then for 13, 14, 15, and 16, you're going to follow the rule. So let's just do one or two of these, just to be sure everyone knows what they're doing. So you're going to follow the rule for all of these. So you're going to take this number and then do what it says. Okay, so 5 times 60 would be what? It would be 300, right? Because 5 times 6 is 30, and then we would add this 0 back right there. Same thing, 2 times 60, 2 times 6 is 12, and then add the 0, so it's 120. 6 times 6 is 36, and then add the 0. 9 times 6 is 54, and then add the 0. See how easy that is? You only need to look at the first number, but then you have to make sure to add the zeros back in. That's all. Okay, so you're going to follow those rules and then try to figure out number 17. And then I will need you to pause the video to complete this. And then whenever you're totally finished checking your answers, because I'll have the answers there for you, when you're totally finished checking your answers, I need you to take a picture of your work and upload it on the assignment. So you'll go into your Jupyter and you're going to see a turn-in button or an upload file button, and that's where you will upload your photos of this lesson. All right, you have to go actually into this lesson to be able to do that. And if you have any problems with that, email me. All right, so go ahead and pause, work through this. I'm going to load the answers on this page, and then once you're finished working through, either come back or unpause, and then you can check your answers. All right, go ahead and pause. Okay, there it is. Go ahead and check your answers and see how you did. If you missed a lot, please email me, talk to me, and see why you missed what you missed. And that way we can, I can help you out now instead of waiting until later. All right? Okay, so go ahead and check your answers. If you need to pause, then go ahead and do that. All right, so don't forget to turn in your work. There is no homework. I'm not assigning that today. So you're free from math after you finish this. So yay. All right, you enjoy your day. Talk to you later. Okay, bye.